Welcome to Java programming course. So, in previous class we learned about introduction to object-oriented programming system and followed by one more concept, that is the difference between POP and OOP. In this session we are going to learn about the principles of object-oriented programming system. So, let us go to our topic, principles of object-oriented programming. Here we have four principles of object-oriented programming. Those are abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, and followed by polymorphism. These are also we called as the pillars of object-oriented programming. Next, first we will go for one by one. First one, abstraction. What is the meaning of an abstraction? Abstraction means it gives about the relevant data to the user. It hides the particular implementation we call as abstraction. For example, in this example, take this example car. As a driver, I should know about how to operate the car. For example, start an engine, stop an engine, increase speed, decrease speed, and also change the gears. All these things are required as a driver, but how they are operated, how they are implemented, how they are functionally implemented, it doesn't care about the particular driver. It doesn't require as a driver, but as a driver we should know about the functionality, but how they are implemented doesn't require for the driver. So, let us go to the definition of abstraction. It gives about the what? The relevant data to the user, and the client cares about the functionality, and it doesn't care about the what? How the functionality is implemented. So, one more example I am going to explain this same abstraction concept in a beautiful example, that is ATM application. While we are using the ATM machine, when we are inserting the card, it shows some operations. Those operations, for example, withdraw, mini statement, transfer amount, change the PIN, all these are regularly we are using, right? As I think in your lifetime, at least one time you are using this ATM machine. Okay. For example, if you are performing all these operations, means what? These operations are performed and developed by some other persons. They show only the required data to the end user. The end user may be a technical person or a layman. Even layman can understand how to operate a machine, means it provides relevant data to the user. Who provides that particular data to the user? The particular developer. In this example, the required operations means withdraw, mini statement, change PIN, all these are relevant to the what? It is required for the layman. So, as a developer, the particular application is developed by some persons, they provide all these features to the end user, but they hide the particular functionality implementation. This is we called as abstraction, means it provides a relevant data to the user and hide the implementation. So, this is we called as abstraction. So, what are the advantages of abstraction? So, advantage here is the security. Why? Because as a developer we are displaying, we are showing only the what? The relevant data to the user, but we are hiding the implementation. If you know the implementation data, we can easily hack the particular application, maybe ATM application, in a bank type of transactions we can easily hack. So, this is we called as abstraction. This is the advantage, means security is the main point. So, that is the reason abstraction is very, very important when we are developing any Java based applications. The next one we will go for encapsulation. So, what is the meaning of an encapsulation? So, here the name capsule, what is the meaning of capsule? So, example for encapsulation is a capsule. The capsule contains what in general as a medicine? The combination of the chemical components. Here same thing in the programming point of view, it is a combination of variables and methods. This entire group we call as encapsulation. Also this combination we call as a class. What is a class? A collection of data members and member functions. Here data members means variables. What about member functions means methods. Methods we call as a functions. In C we call as a function, whereas in Java we call as a methods. This entire combination we call as a class. So, in Java all the classes we can say encapsulation. So, this is about encapsulation concept. The next we go for inheritance. This is a very, very important inheritance concept. Why? Because if we are developing any application, generally we follow inheritance concepts. So, let us go to the particular concept inheritance. What is the meaning of inheritance? Acquire the properties of an object from parent class to child class we call as inheritance. Means one object get or acquire properties and behavior from parent class to child class we call as inheritance. For example, here take this particular child line, this is a parent line. The child line means what? Whatever the properties, all the features from the parent line to child line is acquired. That is the reason this is we call as a child line. This is we call as a parent line. So here the inheritance concept means acquire the properties from parent line to child line we called as inheritance. One more example here. Take an example of bird. In general, the birds are classified into flying birds, non-flying birds. Comes under flying birds, again we are classified into, here I have taken what? Only these are two birds, one is robin, one more is swallow. Here number of flying birds are there. Here for the sake of example point of here I have taken only two birds, one is robin, one more is swallow. Here robin and swallow are comes under what? Flying bird. Means here generally inheritance follows, one more important key point, inheritance follows is a relationship. This is very important. Is a relation. Means robin is a flying bird, swallow is a flying bird, and same as here penguin is a non-flying bird, kiwi is a non-flying bird. Means inheritance represents, it tells about is a relationship between the particular objects. So that is the beauty of inheritance. And one more here, whatever the properties we declared, properties and behavior declared in the bird, same thing acquired to the what? Flying bird. Same, whatever the properties and behavior declared in flying bird, same thing we are acquired and inherit to the robin, at the same time swallow. This is we called as inheritance. In a simple way, acquire the properties from parent class to child class we called as inheritance. And also some of the keywords for parent class also we called as parent class, also called as base class, and also we called as super class. All these are synonyms for parent class. Parent class also we called as a base class, and also we called as a super class. For child class, for example, parent in the place of child. Here base class we also called as derived class, and also we called as subclass. All these key terms are used in our textbooks and some of the other websites also, but both are all are similar here. Super class we also called as a parent class, also we call as a base class, whereas in subclass we call as a what? Subclass or child class or derived class. From this example, this subclass we also we call as what? Child class. Same, this subclass also we call as what? Derived class. All are similar. Okay. What about here? Parent class also we call as parent or super or otherwise base class. So this is about the what? Inheritance. Here in our course, I will explain in detail about inheritance in the unit 3, what are the types of inheritance, how to implement those inheritance concepts in detail. Actually there are 5 types of inheritance. Those are single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance, hybrid inheritance, hierarchical inheritance. All those 5 types of inheritance I will explain in unit 3. So this is about the inheritance. So what are the advantages of inheritance? If you know, if you are learning any concept, you should know about the advantages where we are applying in the real world, in the real life scenario. So what are the advantages of the particular inheritance? Those advantages are means, the first advantage of inheritance is reusability. Reusability. What is the meaning of reusability? So no need to write the code again and again. For example, I am declaring the some properties and behavior in bird, means here. Same thing, no need to again declaring here also. Why? Because same properties we are acquiring. So simply here we are using one keyword. That keyword we call as extends keyword. This extends keyword we are using, extends keyword. With the help of this keyword, all the properties and behavior, whatever we declared in parent class or base class, same thing we can acquire into what? Subclass. So that is the reason the code reusability means we have to reuse the code, no need to write the code again and again. That flexibility, that feature is available with the help of this inheritance concept. And also code readability. Readability is also there. Readability is also there in the inheritance. Why? Because if you have a less number of lines of code, as a developer we can develop application very fast. Means the reduction of code is there, and also we can easily what? Read the particular code. So that is the beauty of inheritance. So these are the advantages of inheritance concept. Next one is polymorphism. So what is the meaning of polymorphism? So poly, the name, the poly means many. The meaning of poly means many. Here poly means many. What about morphs means forms? So many forms means one object, for example take an object, one object can perform multiple actions or multiple functionalities, we called as polymorphism. Simple definition of polymorphism is, here we can perform a single action in different ways. Take an example of, here one person is there, take this example here, take this person, like the one boy is there, same boy can perform in shopping mall, he behave like a customer, in bus he behave like a passenger, whereas in school he behave like a student, whereas at home he behave like a son. So same person perform different actions, we called as polymorphism. This is a simple example. One more example as a programming point of view, this is the one more example for polymorphism. Here I want to write an application, I want to develop an application for finding the shape of different, for example take circle, triangle, rectangle, I want to find the area of different shapes. Here shapes I have taken what? Circle, this is one of the shape, triangle is one of the shape, rectangles, so on different shapes. Here in this shape I declared one variable as, one method as, here I declared this is area. Same area I want to use, I want to calculate area of a circle, area of a triangle, area of a rectangle. All these things are possible with the help of what? Polymorphism means many forms. So same thing can act as different purpose. Means area, I want to find the area of a rectangle, circle and also triangle. So this is the meaning of polymorphism. So polymorphism means many forms. So this is the one more example for a one person. Here person means what? Object. This object act as a different ways. Same thing. This method act as a different way. So method we can also we call as a polymorphism. Also an object can perform different action also we call as a polymorphism. So this is a pillar of object concept, that is polymorphism. So what we learned in this session? So there are 4 pillars of object-oriented programming. Those are abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, one more is encapsulation. These 4 are basic pillars of object-oriented programming. And one more key point is, these object-oriented programming concepts means these 4 also useful for Python, also useful for .NET. Why? Because there also we are following object-oriented programming through .NET, object-oriented programming through Python. So you should learn all these 4 concepts in a detail with a beautiful example in the coming lecture. So this is about the what? The principles of object-oriented programming. So next we go for a poll. I want to check your mind check. Why? Because with the help of this session I want to know how much you get from this session. A simple question here I want to check your mind. Here the question is, a process that involves recognizing and focusing on the important characteristics of a situation or object is known as, can you say anyone? So what is encapsulation? Is follows this particular approach here, what? Focusing on important characteristics. Which concept is follows this? Focusing on important characteristics means what? Relevant data. It focusing on relevant data, not the implementation. Which concept? Just now we followed. Here abstraction follows the particular importance of characteristics of a particular object. So what is the answer? Abstraction. So abstraction is the answer for this question. So why? Because it tells about the important data, means relevant data to the user, but it hides the implementation data. So this is about the what? The pillars of object-oriented programming. So thank you.